Welcome to this week's edition of What to Watch For, the Championship Edition, presented by C.J. Wilson Mazda, alongside Kobe Jones, Joe Tutino. The final is finally set. New England Revolution, LA Galaxy, StubHub Center on Sunday. These teams meet for the third time in the final. The Galaxy, of course, won in 2002, 2005, and they hope to take care of business here in 2014. But Kobe, before we continue with this game, I want to go back to 2002 because from my standpoint, it was a frustration for the Galaxy. 96, 99, 2001, coming up short, unfortunately. But 2002, in overtime, Carlos Ruiz, it was magic.
Oh, I think the whole season, was magic for us at that time. It was something special where we felt that this was the time. The addition of Carlos Ruiz to the team, we saw what he could do. We had that final piece, that player that could do something within the box. I mean, that's why it was called Pescadito. The little fish inside that area. He's dangerous. And let's not forget, he had some great opportunities beforehand to put that ball in the back of the net, and I won't let him forget that. But it was great to see that finally in the overtime piece, when he did have probably one of the harder of his many chances, he finished it off. And that was a little bit of ecstasy, I think, for everybody, not only the players on the field, but I think for LA Galaxy fans everywhere. 2005,
you guys were the underdog going into the final. Took care of business.
Well, that's because we had a horrible season leading up to it. But it's one thing that we see, which is perfect within MLS. It's about making it to the playoffs. And once you get to the playoffs, anything can happen. And at that point, we knew we were there, that we had the talent. We just didn't show up at the right times. But now we knew this was the time, and there was no opportunity to let off, the gas, so to speak. So we continued to push forward, and everything just started coming around and we finally got to that final, and we knew that this was another opportunity. That we had beaten New England a few years before in the final, so we knew a little bit of how they would play. It was a little bit different where we were going up against Matt Reese. And I know Matt Reese still says he was fouled on that goal, but he was not fouled. It was a nice challenge, Matt. Unlucky, but you weren't fouled, and Pondo put it in the back of the net.
All right, well, let's fast forward this season. It's going to be the third time against these two clubs. These two clubs will meet for the third time in the final. But when they met earlier in the season, the Galaxy with a big win at home, but New England's not the same team anymore.
No. Look, we got to throw out everything that happened in July, because that was a team where, for New England, you had Teal Bunbury playing up top. Charles Davies wasn't even playing. Caldwell wasn't even really, he was still a sub at that point. Jermaine Jones wasn't there. And even for the Galaxy, Landon came off of the bench in the second half. Marcelo Sarvas came off the bench in the second half. So that really wasn't the matchup that you're going to see this Sunday. This Sunday, completely different aspect. When we look at this New England team, they are on fire. Jermaine Jones is dominating the midfield. It's going to be a good matchup for Juninho and Marcelo Sarvas to see how they can really go up against Caldwell and Jones, and who's going to win that battle. I think that's one of the main areas to watch. And then another aspect, out on the flanks, that's going to be the other area to watch. I think Chris Tierney at that left back or left midfield position, wherever he does fall, is going to be dangerous, very dangerous. And the Galaxy, you're going to have to pay attention. Is it going to be AJ De La Garza that's going to match up with Tierney over there? Or is it going to be Dan Gargan in that position? It's questionable. It's tough to say, but that's another point. Whoever wins that battle, I think, gives a leg up.
The last impression we have of the Galaxy is holding on against Seattle, but they did what they had to do to get to the final. Certainly, this is going to be a different Galaxy team with a different outlook going forward.
Yeah, I mean, everyone looks at that Galaxy team and says, oh, they're holding on against Seattle. Seattle, from halftime on, didn't have a shot on goal.
Right.
People forget that. They didn't have a shot on goal. It's the defense of the LA Galaxy that came through, and it's the defense that has gotten the LA Galaxy through this whole season. I mean, they did have some slip-ups, midway through, but and obviously that kind of coincided when Omar Gonzalez wasn't around.
Right.
Omar's back. The defense has been solid and continuing to get better and better. And like I said, it did seem like a little bit of a struggle as you're watching it and just the hype of the game, but no shots on goal. Any defense will tell you that's a great game.
Well, the Galaxy want more of that, but we look at it going forward. Robbie Keane, MLS MVP. Congratulations to Robbie. Landon Donovan's final game. This is it. We finally know what the final game is, and it's the championship.
Well, he's got to be happy, right? I think everyone that's a Landon Donovan fan, a LA Galaxy fan, has to be rooting for him. People around the league, just for what Landon has given, through the years to MLS, to his variety of different teams within MLS, to U.S. soccer. Look, there's people out there that love him. There's people out there that hate him. But you can't argue the statistics of what Landon Donovan has done for the LA Galaxy, for MLS, and for U.S. soccer, for the sport of soccer in this country. So to him, I tip my hat to him, and I wish him all the best. And hopefully the LA Galaxy can send him out, with the Hollywood fairy tale.
Well, I'm in the blue and gold. I'm talking to a Hall of Famer from the Galaxy, and this is at lagalaxy.com. We're ready to go, boys and girls. Thanks for watching this week's What to Watch For, presented by CJ Wilson Mazda.